Hey there you guys, welcome back for our third portrait story. Today we have another high school senior boy named Trent, and this was a really fun photo shoot to do. First off, he's a really neat guy, and I think the hardest thing as a portrait photographer is overcoming those barriers that people have when you meet a stranger and be able to make them feel comfortable in front of the camera and connect with them so that their personality shines through. So one way that we want to be able to show their personality is just include things that they're into and things that they're passionate about. That will help overcome a barrier right there, because then they're more in their comfort zone. They have something that they already know and that they are the expert in. So I actually try to learn from them. I ask them questions about what they do, how they got into it, the struggles of becoming proficient at wakeboarding, for example. And you build that rapport, but then once they are able to start teaching you some stuff, then they feel like they have some control and they feel a little more comfortable in front of the camera. So we did this photo shoot in our studio, and here's the very first shot. So let's just kind of go through how this evolved into the awesome photo that it is and the piece of artwork that we did for this client. So we had him in the studio, and he was wearing his board shorts. He brought all of his stuff that he loves to wakeboard in, and he's got the killer long hair, and so we actually had a fan blowing on him, his nice golden locks in the summer breeze is the look that we were going through. So for this shot, I shot with one of my wide angle lenses, my 24-70, and I got down a little bit lower. I wanted to give him that power stance. When you shoot up on a subject, it gives them a feeling of power from that angle. And I knew that I was going to change the background out. I didn't know exactly what photo I was going to use yet, but I want it to be an epic shot. And so my angle was one of the first things that I chose. Then we added in the fan blowing his hair, adds another element, that element of movement and power on there. So all those things went into making that shot as dramatic as possible. And so when I got this shot into Photoshop, my next thing that I had to do before messing around with almost anything else was cut out the background. So I had to clean up everything that I had in the background. I could have shot it a little bit cleaner, not had all my light stands and everything in there, but sometimes I just rush way too fast and I don't pay attention to all the details that I need to. Or I just know that I'm gonna make it harder on myself, which if you ask my wife, I typically like to make things harder on myself. So I cut out the background, and then I had to choose an image to go in the background that'd be really dramatic. So I went through a bunch of my photos I had with sunsets and clouds, and I didn't really have a shot that I wanted to have a foreground in it. So I went and found one of my landscape photos that was just of clouds on a sunset evening. So this was a horizontal image, but I ended up cropping it in vertical to be able to fit in behind Trent here. And so once I put that in there, it really just changes the mood of the image from in the studio shot to that shot. So the colors go amazing. The board shorts that he has, his board, the rope, his hair, the colors in the clouds, the orange, the purples, the pinks, the blues. It just really, really was the perfect image that I had for it. And so this gives it that warm feeling, that summer feeling, and really just captures your eye with everything from the angle I shot, the lighting I used. I used 3 lights. One main light off to his right was what was shining on his face, but then I used 2 kicker lights behind him to give the separation, and the hair on his arm to glow and his hair to light up, because I wanted it to feel like the sun was behind him shining on his shoulders. And so I was able to blend that in really well, think about my lighting setup before I even took the shot, knowing that I was going to compose it with a landscape photo that would probably be backlit, that the sun was coming from behind. So I wanted to think about that when I was shooting the portrait. And so the neat thing that I really like about this image is it's so vibrant and so colorful that I knew printing it on the wall would be a piece of artwork in itself. Just the colors would brighten up a room. When they walk into the room and they see this, they'll see Trent and see that powerful positive confidence that he has, and then the passion that he absolutely loves to wakeboard, but then also the colors in itself. It's going to be like a beautiful sunset that they get to enjoy all the time with their son in the image. And so the final image, I end up putting a torn edge border around it, a little bit of texture lines in there, and some texture over the top of the image. Again, just to have it that dreamy feel, that sunset, that you just got off the lake wakeboarding, and painterly art type of feel. And so knowing that this would be on the wall to really capture their attention, to illustrate Trent and his passion, and to be able to have a final image that they would be able to enjoy for the rest of their life. There's a lot of neat things that went on into this image. I love the final project, how it turned out, and I hope that you guys do. So if you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments, your questions, and just some feedback. This is a fun thing for me to do, and I love sharing it with you guys, so I hope you have a great one. Thanks, bye.